Hey guys, Hxntai Guy here to bring you my video on the awesome game Scarlet Nexus. But before we begin, I'd like to give my thanks to the awesomely talented artist who I commissioned to make my new background. Orange Arts does some nice work. I'll leave her info down below if you want to check her work out. And thanks again, Orange, you're awesome. But with that out of the way, let's go! It's showtime! So guys, has any one of you played or heard of Scarlet Nexus? I first noticed it when I saw a trailer on YouTube, but when I saw it, I initially wasn't impressed. I first thought it was an anime-style game that had style, but no substance. Kinda like when I bought the My Hero fighting game. I'm not saying you have bad taste in games if you like the My Hero game, but when I bought and played it, I got bored and took it back after a few weeks. The reason was because the game had the nice anime style, but the game's story and gameplay just felt very bare bones, and it didn't keep me engaged. Now, you might say, but it's a fighting game, the main point of it is to fight. True, but I played other fighting games that didn't only do style over gameplay, like the Dragon Ball Z games and Naruto Ninja Storm games, are a few examples that had the perfect balance of story and style. That was very fun to play. And even with Jump Force, yes, it had a bare bones story, but made up for it with the awesome gameplay elements and the nice style it had. So, you might be thinking, what changed my mind to make me buy the special edition with cool outfits and art book and soundtrack? Well, that's simple. I watched two VTubers who you guys probably already know, named Callie.
Oh cool, we got a Megane character. I do like the Megane characters. I'm kinda interested in this dude's backstory. Okay? Yeah, right, I should try to stop getting distracted by how cool looking and interesting the characters are. I just really like... Listen, I'm remembering how much I used to really enjoy Glass's characters back in the day. Very cool, my homie. Let us fight side by side. Okay. Oh no. Focus on that spot. Okay, my dude. Do your thing. Yeah. Sick finishing blow, my dog. Sure did. Oh. Whoa. Cool. Got it. Leave it to me. He's like one of those. Oh, the glasses push! Oh man, you can't forget the glasses push. The mark of a great Megane character.
And Gura.
Yeah, it's music video time, baby! It's the mac and cheese! Dream and drive. It's mac and cheese. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Hi. Meow 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 meow. Hi, look at the tiny one. dream and drive. Drive. Nice. Okay, let's play game. Wait, no. No, I don't have access to my. I don't want you to be with me. I want Glass Spoon because then we can use electricity.
Who played the game, which changed my mind completely. It wasn't the fact that Gura and Callie promoted the game and talked it up. It was the gameplay and character design that won me over. I got invested and wanted to play the game myself and wanted to know more about the world and the two main characters, Yuito and Kasane. So much so, I downloaded the demo and played it up until the game finally released. I really enjoyed the story too. The story follows Yuito and Kasane as they join OSF in the fight against the others, which are monsters that rain down from the sky to eat the humans' brains with psychic abilities. The story is split between Kasane and Yuito. Which is cool since you get to experience the story from two different perspectives. Another good part of the story is both the main characters are in different groups, which lets you meet the supporting cast in a very natural way. The story doesn't force Yuito and Kasane together, but instead lets them meet throughout the story, and we get to see their relationship develop in a natural way since they are strangers and never met prior before. The best part of the game to me was the gameplay. Combat in the game was always fun and never got boring at all. The reason I got hooked on the combat was the way you fight is different for both Yuito and Kasane. Kasane uses daggers or knives she controls with her psychokinesis power, which gives her mid to close combat attack, which is really fast, but her best form of combat is her air game attack. She can extend her air attacks up to 3 times, which is very powerful in dealing with the others. Plus, combined with her friend's power, she is very deadly. But with Yuito, it's completely different. Yuito is a swordsman, which means he's all about the ground game combat. I didn't know that at first after completing Kasane's route. I noticed that Yuito is all about close quarter combat only and very quick with his attacks. His attacks can be charged too, which makes his attacks stronger than Kasane, since he has levels to his charge attack. But he has very little in air attack, which makes sense for his fighting style. But going right into his route right after Kasane had to change how I played a little since they played differently. Yuito is very deadly with his quick attack that can end the others with ease as well. I really like extending his combos to end it with a spinning sword attack or a kinesis throw. Heck, using clairvoyance attack is the name of the game with Yuito. Well, that and fire with Hanabi too. Other thing I liked about the combat was the brain drive and brain field. Both are really powerful elements in combat. Brain drive lets you use your psychokinesis power without the meter being depleted. Plus, your attacks and movement are faster too, and you can level it up to last longer and give you more abilities like regeneration and restoring your SAS meter too. Plus, it looks cool when the guys put their hoods up and have glowing eyes. Brain field is like your ultimate form basically. It makes you a powerhouse with your kinesis power and your regular attacks, but it comes at a cost of you slowly losing your health over time and mind, which makes sense since it's so powerful. But your friends will help with that by healing you sometimes. Plus, as you level it up, you can literally become immune to damage and stay in the form for a prolonged time. Plus, I love the dialogue that Yuito and Hxntai say in this form too.
Take care of it! Die, die, die!
The last thing I liked about combat is, well, the SAS powers, which lets you team up with your teammates and use their powers too. You can use Shido's thunder power, which paralyzes your enemies, or use Arachie's speed power to blitz your enemies and dispose of them quickly. Heck, you can even use up to 4 powers at the same time after you learn the skill, which is just cool. Plus, the closer you are with your teammates, you can rank up their link with you, which unlocks even more abilities you can use with SAS, which is just crazy. The last element I really liked about the game, well, was the bond element of the game. Bond or social episodes let you get to know your teammates even better by talking to them and spending time with them during intermission periods at the home base, in between chapters. The way to build your relationship with the team is either by using them in battle or just give them presents that they would like. I like this part so much since you see them use the items you gave them, and it decorates the home base too. It makes the base look really homey. And when you get each members high enough, you get special bond episodes as a team and unlock special outfits for the whole team, which is a nice plus. But more importantly, you get to know them as people since you just joined this platoon and don't really know anything about them, with the exception with Yuito knowing Hanabi since they are childhood friends, and with Kasane and Kyoka, who always watched and looked after Kasane during her trainee days. I always look forward to talking with my teammates before the main story beats, since they had interesting things to say about themselves. Plus, later in the game, when both Yuito and Hxntai group join forces together, you get to spend time with the other teammates, which fleshes out the supporting members even more since they interact differently with Yuito and Hxntai, and they reveal more about themselves based on which character route you are doing. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the story. I'm not going to spoil the ending, mainly because I will want you guys to play the game yourself and experience the story yourself. But I will just say, I really like the fact that it's split with 2 characters. The reason is, you get to see the story in 2 different perspectives, even on the part of the story that are the same, and both characters are present in, you get to hear their inner thoughts that you wasn't able to hear before. And things mentioned about you see in each character's route, and I really like the main antagonists in the story. I won't spoil who they are, but I will say I can understand their motives. So, this is the part where I talk about the negative parts of the game, or what you hated about the game. But to be honest, I really didn't have things I hated about the game, but there was a few things that bothered me in the game. The first was Brain Drive. It's a cool ability, but I think it would have been better if it was a mode you can choose to go into. The Brain Drive activates by itself, and you can't turn it off if there's no enemies in sight, which means you have to run to find some enemies to get some use out of it. Same if there's only one enemy and it activates. It's wasted since there's nobody to fight but one. Yes, I know later in the game you get a pin to control when to activate, but you sacrifice your ability to go into Brain Field. The next thing was Yurito's route. The thing it suffers for lack of action. Don't get me wrong, I like Yurito's route, but it felt like in comparison to Kasane's route, you spend more time investigating than fighting. And the last thing I felt was off was, well, just the red strings. I felt that when they say it, it would be better if they said it in Japanese. Kind of like in Naruto with Rasengan, you wouldn't say spiraling spear. That's what it felt like they did by keep saying red strings in English. It just felt off. And yeah, I know even in Japanese voice they say red strings, but I think it'd be better in giving it the Japanese name over English name. Well, with that, I finished my thoughts over the awesome game Scarlet Nexus. It was a very fun and cool game that I would tell anyone to play if they like RPG games. And let's be honest, the theme song, Dream and Drive, is so good. Heck, I never skipped that opening when it came on. And it's so cool when it plays when you're in Brainfield too. Well, if you have the special outfit in the DLC. Also, I want to say thanks again for the people who let me use their gameplay of the game. I really appreciated it. Also, I wanted to mention I just got one more video I'm going to make, and afterwards I'm going to start the next series to cover and what's the different series I do. The next series is going to be Dead Man Wonderland, so look forward to it. But like and subscribe and comment on what you thought about the game. And with that, I'll leave you with this. My Mori Taisetsu no Dream and Drive. Later.